To a deluxe apartment in the sky.
We are moving on up.
We are moving on up.
We're moving on up, and actually, oh my God, it's not a beer.
That's a beer.
Are you sure?
No, wait, it's not.
I don't think it is.
Nice.
It's not.
It's about time we broke this. We broke from our character. Broke from character and moved on.
We've moved on to...
There are other things to drink out there besides beer.
I find that hard to believe.
I know.
But we found one, and we found a bourbon on this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beer... Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. No. And the beverage we're about today is, it's Jefferson's Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Very small batch.
Very tiny.
Very small.
That means like that they use only so many different ages to actually blend into to make the bourbon.
Okay.
They use like anywhere from I think like 6 to 8 different
Nice.
barrels. So that's what the whole small batch is. Not that they only made like 3 barrels of it.
Right.
Then that would probably be like a $500 bourbon.
Yeah.
It's that they use very few to actually blend together to make the final
Oh,
product.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. So so Jefferson's we've got it's 41 point. Wow. This is very specific.
I know. I was noticing
I just
that.
noticed. Okay, the proof on this is 41.15, so 82.3 proof.
Whoa.
I love accuracy.
Yes.
And very small batch. We actually got this, or I should say, I got this as a gift on my birthday from my brother Joe. So we want to thank him that we've gotten this. And as you can tell, we like to do full disclosure. We have had some.
We have had some. Of
We
this
have
before.
had some,
Yes.
but we wanted to talk about it. Not necessarily. I mean, that could be terrible. Probably not, though, if we're already going to put it on a podcast.
That's true.
But we wanted to talk about it because we haven't.
Foreshadowing now.
Yeah, we haven't.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, a little bit of a spoiler alert. We haven't actually sat down and discussed it this way, so I think it'll still be very interesting.
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and do that. And so who's the distiller on this then?
The distiller is McLain and Kyne.
Ooh, John
And
McLain.
it's from Louisville, Kentucky.
As Kent Graves would say.
As Kent Graves would say.
Louisville.
Now, Kent would be somebody to have on for a bourbon podcast.
Love to have him on for a bourbon podcast. Call us.
What if he listens to the show?
I don't know.
Awesome.
He says he still lives in the same place. That's just a really nice honey color. Just
Yep.
nice golden, little notes, little brown in there, but just nice honey colored.
Yeah, it's a lighter colored bourbon because you can have some that are more red and darker than this, but that's definitely one of the shades of bourbon.
It's one of the shades of bourbon.
It's the color palette, as we've spoken about the many shades of bourbon. That's one of them.
It's a honeyed shade of bourbon. It's Edgar Winter's other song.
Procol Harum.
Procol Harum? Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Whiter Shade of Pale.
Ooh, we should have started with that so I could clear my nose out like I just did. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
wow. That just has nice, it's got the toffee, there's some sweetness in there.
A little honey sweetness. to go
Little
along
honey
with that.
sweetness.
Yep.
Definitely some alcohol coming through, which
Yep.
kind of surprises me because it's not a super strong proof.
No.
But that does filter in there, but not in a bad way.
No, definitely not.
mingles with everything else very nicely.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't. It's you take that big whiff of that, and it's not like it makes you go. It doesn't knock you off your. It doesn't make you want to stop. Yeah, there's definitely the vanilla sweetness sort of in there. So
That smells really good.
Smells quite good.
Quite delicious. Smooth. The heat kind of hits you right away. I mean, I'm getting some as it's going down as well. Kind of, I'm feeling it, but it's not harsh in any way. It's just a really nice warmth that just kind of goes all the way through your palate. It's on your tongue. It's on your soft palate. Hits all of that, but then just goes away. And it just leaves you with that nice blanket aftertaste of the honey we talked about. Yep. Some other sweet notes.
That's what I remember when I had this a few weeks ago at your house. I just thought, wow, that is just so. There is the heat, but overall it's so smooth. It's not like focused in one area. It just kind of hits your mouth, and it's just like a nice wave of flavor. That just goes back, and there's a little bit of the burn on the front of the tongue.
A little bit,
but like I said, a little bit as it goes down, but not like you're like, whoa.
That's just a really great way to describe that. You just get not only with the warmth, but just flavors just coat your entire palate. Nothing is left. There's no part of your palate that's like left in the dark. Like, hey, I'm not getting anything.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets a little bit of something. There's a little bit of sweet. There's a little nice spice. Little bit of like kind of salty. Like my mouth's watering just a little bit. Probably
definitely.
from kind of the alcohol a little bit, but just great flavors just everywhere. And like I said, and the finish is so nice.
Yep.
So nice. I mean, I don't even know if did we mention the price?
We didn't, but we should, because if that's only $21, I think that's like right up there with the Bullet at 18 or 19, and that's a great a great value.
For me, I'm throwing another $3 toward this and getting this. And what we need to do, which we should do every time we have a bourbon, is we should always make a Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to get to this time, but that's definitely something we should always make sure we do, because that's one of my favorite drinks, and I think this would work really well in a Manhattan. I think just all the flavors that are in there, I think would just be awesome.
I would think so, as long as the sweet vermouth doesn't overwhelm those sweet characteristics, or make it too sweet. But yeah, there's definitely there's possibility. That's the thing. The Wine Spectator, I don't know if it's the current issue because my subscription ran out with the one that I just got. So there may have already been one that came out. Has their cover story is on American whiskey, and they do a lot of information on bourbon, which every time I read it makes me very thirsty. But I believe this one is covered in there. But and they have some twists on some old drinks, like the old fashioned, the Manhattan, the julep, the mint julep, which we've tried in a previous podcast.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, it's really good. I'll lend it to you, or I recommend that you go out and take a look at that, because it was very, very informative, very interesting. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. So, but yeah, that's to me that's a great value and a great tasting bourbon.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I can't recommend that enough. And they actually have a couple, I think they have one or two above this. They have like a Jefferson Reserve, and they have something else. And I don't know where those hit on the price point, but this, for the value and the flavor, is pretty amazing.
Well, I believe that when Fitz lent us those 5, that became the Fitz 4. There was one we omitted because we think that had been compromised for some reason.
We thought there'd been some taint.
And I think it was the Jeffersons. And I don't know if it was this Jefferson's or another. I'll have to get back with him on that. But I believe it was a Jefferson's.
That would be a good question. We should find that out.
So yeah, or we have tried a different Jefferson's then, because I'm fairly certain he gave us one of them.
I think he gave us Louise, and we're actually having George this time.
That's right.
Okay,
moving on up.
That's our last joke for the podcast.
That's
and since that's our last joke, you should head on over to the website at AboutBeverages.com and check out our tasting notes for this fantastic bourbon, and find out where it hits on our recommendation scale. And while you're there, definitely download our mobile app. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Become a fan of us on Facebook. Sometimes I get those confused.
Follow us on Twitter Book.
On Twitter, but
they should
just merge, because Facebook's doing that giant IPO. They should just buy Twitter, and it just becomes this giant conglomeration monopoly type thing.
But you Twitter and you don't Facebook, so you wouldn't be able to do that.
I do not. I make sure that we have all of our updates for our fans on Facebook. But yeah, I don't do a lot there. Like I said, really, Twitter is the place to find me for that, for sure. And you as well. Do you?
That's right.
You're you're on the Facebook a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I just actually
you dabble.
I dabble, but not a lot of sharing or writing. I like to just read what people are saying. And I'm a Facebook voyeur. I think I said that before.
A Facebook voyeur.
Yes.
I like that term. But whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.